Hello, hello, and welcome. Let me fix that here. It's been a while. Take that off my ear a little bit here. It's been a while since I've done this. I gotta adjust some stuff here really quick. Let me know if the mic is a little bit too loud. I'm also gonna drop the audio down on that just a little bit. Alright, I think we're good. And you can let me know in the comments if this is too loud, mic audio. I'm trying the other mic today. Let's take a look here. Pull up the YouTube. And I'll try and keep an eye on that shit. Alright. Anyways, so the original plan here was I was going to play some original Xbox games that I picked up at a convention last weekend, and I haven't turned on my original Xbox in probably since the last time I did that stream last fall, testing out that HDMI cable and everything, and I went to go turn it on today, and that thing's dead. So that shit's dead, and I'm going to have to... I don't know if I'm going to have to buy a new original Xbox or what's going on here, so I do not know. It's quite a bummer. But anyways, so instead of that, we're going to sit here and we're going to play some Operencia. I'm going to try and bring the mic back just a little bit here. So Operencia, I've played a little bit of this game. I'm probably like... Actually, you know what? I can tell you. Let's go ahead and load it up here. So, I am about 10 hours into the game. So, I guess a little bit more than I thought. We'll just go ahead and resume my last save here. Actually, I just want to check out some of the... I don't think I've ever even looked at the options. I think I tried this on my PC once. I pretty much played it on the Xbox One X. So, yeah, let's... should have synced my save right over. So, let's dive in. I don't even remember what I left off doing in this game, so let's find out. I'm still just massively bummed that this Xbox is not working. Like, I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. I had that nice stack. I tweeted out that picture of the nice stack of games that I wanted to check out tonight. Some were pickups from the convention. Others I just haven't really looked into too much yet. Yeah, just... That thing decided it's time, I guess. When it's time, it's time. I mean, I'll end up keeping that thing because it's the green Halo system, and that's the system that I looked for a long time. But it's just it's quite a bummer. I kind of vaguely remember this. We're probably gonna get put in some battle where I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Let's just get out of here really quick. So Operencia is a old school dungeon crawler, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's made by the people that made Zen Pinball, which is, when it got announced, I kind of laughed and said, "Those people are gonna make this kind of game?" Like, that just seems like such a drastic departure from a pinball game. And I've really enjoyed my time with this game thus far. As you can see, this game looks stunning. Kind of got to try and remember exactly where I am here in this game. I should probably level up my characters here. Let's see here. If I can remember how to do that. Okay. It's been a couple weeks. I like that this game just has an optimize all, so I don't have to mess around too much with that stuff. But yeah, he needs to be leveled up. Let's say that's good. And then you know what? I feel like that's not going to help him that much. That works for me. What was it, this chick too? I've gotten a couple of characters. It seems like there's quite a bit of characters. I've read that this game's actually fairly lengthy, which is cool. So I'm a big fan of that. we'll bust up her, and then let's go back. I've kind of not been putting shit into this tree because my main character is also the same as her, so it doesn't make sense for me to have two characters like that. Let's see. Sure, whatever. I should also check. Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed my time with this game thus far. I think it looks really good. That's probably the most impressive part of the game is how good it looks. I've pretty much exclusively been playing this game on my Xbox, but I decided obviously tonight, you know, with Xbox Play Anywhere, it's a good game to do that. Okay, so I think I remember figuring this puzzle out, and yeah, we're probably gonna have to go back and fight that lizard guy. I guess let's go do that, and hopefully I don't get my ass kicked too hard. So yeah, if you're tuning in and you were expecting to see some old school original Xbox games, I do apologize. That totally was not. It's a real bummer. Why did it tell me I can pick something up but I can't? It's really bizarre. I know what I saw. Let's see here. This is also the first time I'm streaming with this new router, so and I can run through that. I'll run through that wonderful tale here in a little bit, but that's the main reason why there was no new video this week on the channel. It was a real last minute. Shit went bad. I can't remember. Oh, here we go.
My bag offers new items as they are needed.
Cool. I don't care about that now. I have 3 firewood, so I could... It's not necessary, because the only thing I have is that. So let's save really quick. And then let's head back in. I guess... Oh. I always forget there's a mini-map at the bottom, and I just never look at it. So I used to play a ton of these type of games on the 3DS. That's where I kind of became really familiar with this kind of game. I mean, obviously, dungeon crawlers have been around forever, but the 3DS is where I kind of really latched onto this type of game, like Persona Q, some of those Shin Megami games. They're just really interesting and very fun. And what the shit? Problem is I don't remember what way I went here. I guess I should follow the minimap here. Because I feel like I... Okay. This is where that was. Oh, okay. Alright. Go up this. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. But I played a lot of these kind of games like on the 3DS, and I really had a fun time. Really enjoyed these type of games for a while. Let's fight. And that's why I was really surprised to get a big console game. I mean, not big. Like, definitely people are going to look at this and go, this isn't a big game. But, and obviously I'm playing this game through Game Pass as well. So, if you don't have Game Pass, I believe it's $30. But it's another really good Game Pass edition is what I would say. Like, I've really, really enjoyed my time with this game. I'm planning to do a review on the channel of it here at some point. What do they have? They're resistant to fire. Oh, wow. I really thought that would get rid of that guy. Okay. We need to get rid of these shaman, though. Wait a minute. It can be a little daunting at times, though, like moving things around, and it's definitely different than some of the other games I'm used to playing, that's for sure. It's a nice change of pace. And I think that was part of it. Like, I really wanted a nice change of pace for a game. I wanted something different. Oh, I like how that just... I will say, too, like, if you have a TV with HDR, and I'm playing this on a PC that doesn't have HDR, and I don't think HDR translates through, like, a stream or anything like that, but this is a really good HDR game. Like shockingly good HDR game. Ever since I got my new TV here, beginning of March, I've become, now that I actually have HDR, become a real HDR snob. Like, like it's the kind of thing where, like, you don't really think about it until you have it, and then you realize, like, how much more vibrant some colors and stuff are with it. Like, it's quite something, especially in certain games. Like, I think I'm trying to think of some of the best examples of good HDR implementation. Red Dead's a really good example. Like, Red Dead's HDR is really, really good and well done. Oh, let's see. So we killed that guy. The problem is I really shouldn't have stopped playing this game when I did. I think we have to capture... Wait a minute. Don't I put it in this? Maybe not. I don't know where I'm supposed to go with this. Well, we'll find out. I think I read there are 13 maps, and I'm on the 5th one, I want to say, last time I checked. I didn't realize they actually, like, colored that. That's cool. Yeah, if it's my really only objective is climb the world tree. Sure. That seems extremely helpful. So if that's where we came from, then we gotta go this way. I probably seem like a real idiot playing this game. I'm also one of those people that likes to uncover every part of the little map here, so... Okay, so that's the next place that we have to go, but we should probably... Let's see. See what kind of... Yeah, I don't, like, other than saving the game, I don't feel like we need to go all the way back.
We'll need to find a way to climb past the vines blocking the
Ah,
exit.
shit. I knew there was going to be some garbage, like, behind me somewhere. Well, here we go. That's the worst thing they can do, too. And then for me it was like, well, what do I want to do then? Because I didn't I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I kind of sat here, I was like, well, it killed my mood. I already put out the tweet that I was going to do this tonight. And so I was kind of like, well, I don't want to just, put out a tweet and be like, well, nope, never mind, And then like I hooked up my capture card and that thing was being a piece, and I then was just like, well, I guess it's something on the PC, and it was either me gonna mess around with this game specifically, or I was gonna play something maybe on Steam, but I'd actually have to just look through my Steam library. I don't even know what that would be. So let's see. How are you not dead yet? Oh god, she's dead. See, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I should have saved. Probably should. I can't remember. Does he have the... Here we go. That's somewhat helpful, I guess. I'm still getting used to having this mic. Like, it's weird. I'm glad I have it, though. Yeah, like, as I sit here and think about it, like, I don't know what the Xbox thing is all about. Like, I don't know why that thing just decided not today. I don't work anymore. I literally tried like a different power cable because I have two. I tried different outlets. Like, the thing just does not want to turn on. So I'm fairly certain the power supply in that Xbox died. And like, I don't know. I'd have to look into, like, is it even worth resurrecting that specific machine, or do I just go buy another one? Like, I don't know. So, something I gotta think about. But like right now, it's literally not a top priority. Like, yeah, it's a bummer. I can't play some of these games that I just picked up that I wanted to look at for the channel. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, we can talk a little bit about my router situation here. So I'm gonna try and set this up just a little bit better. So I used to. Well, I guess technically now I used to. I had a really nice, fancy Nighthawk Netgear router that I had for, gosh, it's been 6 years now, because I bought it right before the original Xbox One came out. It feels really weird to say original Xbox One. But I bought it because the router I had prior to that was outdated, to say the least. And it was time. I was like, you know what? A new generation is coming here. It's time to upgrade some of this hardware here to be prepared. Excuse me. And so, yeah, and hence why that happened. And I've had the thing for 6 years. Like, that thing, and that was the thing. Like, when I finally discovered it was the router that was my issue, after much trial and error. That was kind of my reaction, was like, I was bummed, but at the same time I was like, I get it. Like it's been 6 years. This thing's an item, a device that's been on literally 6 whole years. So like I get it. I can't be too mad. No, you don't. And yeah, so what happened was, like, I had this weird issue for the last, I'd say, 2 weeks now, where every, like, 1 to 2 days, it started only happening with my Xbox, and it was really weird. Like, I would come home from work, I would turn on my Xbox, and it would load up, but it would display what I would refer to as an outdated friends list. Like, it would show me people that are online that are I know for a fact are not online. And it happened, like, the first time it happened, I was like, oh, something's, like, getting desynced on their server side or something. Like, I couldn't figure it out. And so it happened the first time, and then I went, go in the other room, restart my modem, restart my router, I come back in, and I want this. Come back here. Oh, so close. And, I restart all that shit. And it would take like 3 or 4, I wouldn't even say 3 or 4, probably like 1 or 2 more hard resets of my Xbox to just get it to recognize. And so at first my gut reaction was, oh, the wireless card in my Xbox is going, and that was really bumming me out, because I'm like, man, this Xbox One X is, it's super not a cheap system. It's pretty expensive, and even at $100 off right now, it's still a chunk of change. Like, you don't want to have to plunk that money down if you don't have to right now. So I was bummed, needless to say, and that was kind of where my headspace was at, where I was like, maybe it's this, but I need to just let it go a little bit longer and see what's going on. And then it happened with my PlayStation. And so at the time that it happened with my PlayStation, I'm like, no, there's no way it's happening with 2 of my devices. Like, this is too much of a coincidence to be a reality. And so what happened was, and again, keep in mind, this was something that had been going on for 2 weeks. So basically, yesterday, today's Saturday, so Thursday, one of my days off from work, I came back from running some errands, and went to go turn on, the PlayStation, actually, and did the same thing that the Xbox would do, where, like, it churned on, but it was, I could tell something was wrong. Like, just loading it up, it's not connecting to the network, and I'm like, no, something's wrong here. So I literally walk into the other room that has the modem and the router, and as I walk in that room, I literally watch the router turn off. Like, just turn off, as if to say, I'm done. And I literally watch this happen. I'm like, oh, it's the router. Like, that's what the issue is here. And so I at this point, like, I load up my Nintendo Switch. Switch isn't connecting right. Like, nothing is connected. Like, I look at my phone's not connecting to my Wi-Fi. Like, nah, it's literally this router. So once again, I go through the painstaking, like, resetting this router and everything. And then I came to the conclusion, I'm like, oh, the router's dead. And, at first you can be angry about stuff like that. And I believe me, I was not happy. Like, it's not an expense that I wanted to make right now, but yeah, so and I kind of sat there, and I was, and my biggest thing was, well, this router is dead. I have to get a new one. So I did my research, spent Thursday night kind of hemming and hawing and looking over. And I'm going the wrong way again. Him and Han, like, what do I want to get? And I knocked it down to 2. There was an Asus one, and then there was, like, the new version of the Nighthawk. And I ultimately ended up going with the new version of the Nighthawk, which is like the I think it's called the XR 500 or the RX 500, something like that. Versus the Asus, and that was through me just looking at all these user reviews and just Amazon reviews, and one of the things I saw most common with specifically the Asus was the issue that I was experiencing. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to buy something that's going to have this issue right away. So, and I was like, well, and I thought about it tomorrow. I was like, I got 6 good years out of the Nighthawk. I could be angry. That's probably longer than the lifespan of that kind of thing should be anyways. And so, yeah, I plunked down the money. Wasn't, it wasn't cheap, but I'm also a firm believer in buying things that will last. And hopefully this new Nighthawk lasts. But I will say, like, the previous Nighthawk I had, being that it was out of, it's an out-of-date product. Like, they're still doing firmware updates and stuff for it, but it's not a new product by any means. I will say, like, I was definitely getting slower speeds than my internet modem and the internet I pay for can handle, and that was just due to the limitations of the router. So with this new router, which I got a really nice, that Nighthawk is not a cheap router, and it's really, really nice. I can actually prioritize bandwidth throughout the house between different devices. There's all sorts of things I can do with it. It's really, really cool. Like, I spent a good hour just messing around with settings on that thing yesterday, so it's cool. Like, I'm very happy with it thus far. And one of the things I wanted to do was to run a test stream kind of and see, and it's unfortunate the Xbox isn't working, but at least I'm able to play something. So, but yeah, so then, tonight, the Xbox isn't working, so that wasn't going to happen. And so I was like, oh, well, then I looked at the GameCube. I was like, well, I could play something on the GameCube, but I looked at my stack of Cube games. I said, there's nothing I want to immediately play or start right now. And so looking over it, then I was like, well, I could load up this Super Nintendo Classic and mess around with some stuff on there. And that's when I discovered, like, my capture card just still being a piece of shit. I've had such bad luck with capture cards. Like, I don't know if when I do another PC build at some point, if I need to just do one of those ones you actually put in the machine, like a PCIe one, versus, I have, it's plugged in right now, but I have the Elgato HD 360 or whatever the newer version of it is. The HD 60S. So whatever the newer version of that thing. I don't know, like, I've had nothing but bad luck with that thing. So I've been really disappointed in it. And like, it seems like with some systems I hook it up to, it works okay, and other systems I hook it up to, it's like, nah, I'm good. So that's when that's why I settled on this. So it was either this, or I was going to mess around with some Steam, kind of look through my Steam library and see if there was something I wanted to load up and just kind of mess around with tonight. But I kind of had, like, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh yeah, the Operencia. So and as I said earlier, like, I've really enjoyed my time with this game thus far. Like, I really find it very, very good. So try to get rid of the shaman first. you'll have to forgive. I'm drinking a lot of water right now because we're where I live here in the Midwest. We're getting to the point now where like this is actually the first really like true like wow, it's really actually quite warm today. We're getting to the point where it's like I have central air in my house, but this specific room with all these electronics, it's just craziness when it comes to heat in summer. So I always have a window air conditioning unit put in. And I just haven't done that yet. It's too early. Like this is literally a week ago we had 10 inches of snow, and now it's 70 degrees outside, which don't get me wrong, I love, but it also makes this room really hot at night because unfortunately this part of my house where all this stuff is, the sun sets on this side, so the last thing that happens is the sun beats the shit out of this side of the house at the end of the day. So it makes this room ungodly hot at night. So if you hear any like fan noises in the background, it's because I literally have 2 fans going right now. As far as upcoming video stuff goes, and I have to look at my stuff here and see. I will most likely do a video review of Avengers Endgame, being that I did one for Infinity War last year, and the fact that I already have my tickets and super going this week. That probably will be this Friday's video. I feel like that's probably what I'll end up doing. I have a couple other things in the pipeline right now. This is where I came in from. Yeah, I have a couple other videos in the pipeline right now. I also want to we're getting pretty close to E3. So I like doing my E3 predictions around this time of year. Oh, I guess we're supposed to light those. Okay. I guess that's what you do with these. Alright. I guess that's all you do with those. It's kind of odd. Huh. Anyways. I don't know if I'm supposed to like light every single one of these or what we're doing here. I don't know, we'll find out. There's clearly another one over here.
It's as though the tree itself is testing us with these exits closed by vines.
Yeah. It's a puzzle. We gone out. I don't think we've gone up that way yet. Or no, that's the way we came in. What's weird to me is like, I guess maybe I'm not supposed to light all these. I feel like that's what you should do though. Wait a minute. Let me go out this once. Where does this go? Is this literally the one that I came in from, or is this a different? No, this is the one that I came in from. Okay. So I thought maybe I opened a different path. Well, I mean, I guess I can take lights back. I don't know what the puzzle would be here, but I want to take them all back and we'll figure it out. You probably have to light up from... Okay, or that works too. Where was that at? Those treasure chests? Okay. And I'll take it. That's cool. I'm gonna laugh if that's all that's back here. I'm pretty positive that's all that's back here. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Whatever. Let's see if any of that shit's good. I didn't realize this dude leveled up. Let's see. Oh, that's right. You can only save at the... Alright, whatever. I'll take it. But yeah, as far as upcoming videos, I plan on doing an E3 predictions video at some point. That'll be up some point in May, kind of as we get closer to E3. I will probably be doing what I did last year in terms of E3 coverage, of just doing one video where I talk about, you know, what I think of E3. You know, this year I feel like it's unnecessary for me to do anything but that, especially with there being less coverage this year. I mean, less things to cover. I mean, you know, Sony's not going to be there. Now, again, we don't know if Sony's going to do anything, you know, outside of E3 at that time, or what. You know, they just put out the very early, very early, like, kind of a specs leak of the PS5. I guess that's how you can look at it. But it's very early, and a lot of people are confused. You know, I would recommend, if you know, want to actually know, go watch a Digital Foundry video on that, because they kind of really go through what's going on with that. Like, I've seen a lot of really bad articles about the PS5 stuff. Specifically, if you want to see a really, really bad one, that's just, it's, ooh man, it's bad. GameSpot put out a really just it's kind of almost like alarming how it was published before anybody even like proofread it. Like, you would think an editor in today's day and
Too
age.
much darkness in this spot.
It matches my own soul. Oh, come on. You all
Sure.
know she's fighting not to say that.
When can I throw him off the limb?
Can I not light this up?
There's too much darkness in this spot.
It matches my own soul.
Alright.
Oh, come on. You all know she's fighting not to say that.
Maybe I'm not allowed
When
to put
can I
a
throw
light in
him
there
off
or
the
something.
limb?
I don't know. There we go. So I need one, it looks like. So I guess we get to go back out and see if we can find another one. But yeah, if you, I mean, I've seen some bad, I mean, another thing too that I think people are really just genuinely confused on is, like, obviously they came out and they, you know, talked about the potentials for 8K with these machines. There's literally no way that these machines are going to run native 4K. It's the amount of horsepower you need to run even a 4K 60 game, even with a really, like, top of the line PC, very high cost. So getting a machine that's going to play games at native 4K at 60 frames, I think would be amazing, but I also have a hard time believing that that's even going to happen. So when this like 8K comment was made, I just laughed. And I think part of it is they're saying like the potential is there, and I'm sure when they mean potential, they mean they could do like a checkerboard rendering, kind of like they're doing with the PlayStation 4 Pro. But specifically, it's just I need to actually see that to believe it. Because when I saw that, I just laughed. Like there's no way. There's just no way. But it's interesting. This is kind of the first like true real like, okay, we're actually talking about new systems again. So I'm interested to see E3 this year. I'm really interested to see. I feel like every year Microsoft is, oh, we're gonna have the biggest E3 ever, and then we get to it and it's whatever. Like they genuinely put on good E3s and they show a lot of games, but the issue there is that the games that they show are not really exclusives anymore. They're just maybe timed exclusive or console exclusive. But with this Play Anywhere stuff, that kind of just made it, especially for the PC, people out there that want to play everything on PC, it just made them further commit to, I don't need to buy an Xbox. And that's a bummer, because I think the Xbox is a really, really good machine. But I also understand it at the same time. I don't want to use this firewood right now. But I also have a hard time making the argument for, if you have a decent PC, why do you need an Xbox? Like, for me, I've always made the argument of, well, I just want a machine that I can, plop a game disc in and play. And I'm happy with that. Like, I like the Xbox. I've enjoyed the ecosystem for almost 15 years now. So it would be foolish for me to stop now. But I understand the argument, especially when your direct competition put out nothing but excellent, for the most part. I guess I'll put a little disclaimer on that. For the most part, put out excellent first-party exclusive titles that cannot be played anywhere else. So it's just it's quite something. It's really quite something when you look at it, and like, especially we look back at the end of this generation now, it's like, what big Xbox game did I get that I think is something someone should go out and buy an Xbox for? It's hard for me to say that now, because most everything is on PC. I mean, Master Chief Collection is coming to PC. So it's just, one of the other ones I argued for a long time, Sunset Overdrive, you can play that on PC now. Like, that's a PC game. Like, it's kind of nuts when you sit and think, like, what is the game? Like, what are the Xbox games? Like, even Cuphead's on the Switch now. Like, it's really quite nuts. So, whereas, I look at the PlayStation, and even third party, like, there's a slew of excellent role-playing games on the PlayStation that I haven't even touched yet, that I've bought. And or other ones that I need to get back to, like East 8. Like, there's so much there that, you can argue, like, oh, Microsoft has the more powerful console, and they clearly do at this point. I guess I have to go back down here. And they clearly do at this point, but what does that power get you when you don't have the games to play? So, and what is that argument when the games that you do have can also literally be played on a PC? And that was kind of my issue when they announced Play Anywhere. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Play Anywhere is awesome. I wouldn't be playing this game right now and streaming it if Play Anywhere wasn't a thing that just works. So, here we go. And the flip side of thing, you have, you know, Nintendo, who just keep pumping quality games out as well. I mean, Mario Maker 2 is coming out in June. Cannot wait for that. Here we go. What was the game there? Oh, that Fire Emblem game comes out in July. Like, I mean, there's some big Switch games coming out. And the other thing I'll say is, like, the Switch for me is like my most overlooked system this generation. Like, I've bought a lot of games for it, and I just, every time, I'm always sucked to either one of these bigger brother consoles when I come home. So, and I try to take my Switch with me to work as much as I can to try and play stuff on either like a lunch break or when I have time there. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, I love it for its portability, but I've actually been thinking about rebuying Ys 8 on the Switch. Let's see here. Was that the... I went through the wrong one again. So, we'll probably play a little bit more of this. Like, this isn't going to be a very long stream. That wasn't the plan for tonight, so. Here we go. That's what I was looking
ignorance,
for.
Compo, and please do not take this personally. But why do we actually need you to ascend the world tree?
A fine question.
In fact, in a
young one.
little bit here, maybe I'll
do
look
not
through
know
some
that you would
Steam stuff
appreciate
here, and
the
maybe we'll
answer,
look at a
however.
Steam game or something
me.
and see how
be
that
honest.
goes.
You just do.
You're not selling me on why we actually need you with us, Antlers.
Without my
I am
blessing,
definitely
you
excited
simply
for
could not
new
make it.
consoles though. Like, it's
I can
definitely,
say
I feel like
no
it's
more
time.
plainly.
Like, it's
Can
been a
anyone
while
else from Operencia
since
venture
we've
into
had
the
new
lands of
consoles,
gods?
and
A
I mean, if you look at it, not counting the
Once you
iterative
have
consoles like the
perhaps,
Xbox One X and the
but only
PS4
fire
Pro,
escape.
like it's been
That is
7
all.
years almost.
Not even a dragon can.
And what about the
So-
Underworld? Could you go there if you wanted to?
But I also just think
Why
back
would I
on
want
when this
to?
when this generation
But yes,
started,
I
kind of the
Anyone
disappointment,
can.
man. Like,
Except for the gods.
there was a huge disappointment
starting to lose
of
me.
just
This is
when
all
it first
getting
started,
very
like the
convoluted.
Xbox One. You know, I
We
bought an
need
Xbox One day
all we
one
need
at
to know.
launch, and I waited about a year to buy a PlayStation. You know, because and again, I was coming off the 360. 360, as I've said before on this channel many times, like the 360, I think is probably my favorite system since the Super Nintendo. Like, I have just nothing but fond memories and a huge reverence for that machine. Like, it is by far a phenomenal piece of hardware that just truly evolved between the beginning of that generation to the end of that generation. And that's what makes, like, jumping from that to the Xbox One, it made it such a bummer in comparison. We'll see what's next here. Oh, God. In fact, actually, that might have been a good place to save it up here, so...
What a ghastly sight.
They don't seem as articulate as their friend in the Great Forest was.
Somehow I don't think feed and pass is going to work for us this time.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I think this is a good place to save and quit right now. But I kind of want to look at something on Steam here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause the stream for a minute here, kind of adjust things here, and we'll look at something briefly on Steam. I don't know what that's going to be yet, so give me a moment here, guys. And I will be right back.